best-selling compact crossover SUV looks a little bit different this year. Now, this is the 2023 Honda CR-V Sport Touring Edition, meaning this is your highest trim level. Now, this is all-wheel drive and comes in at $38,000. So we're gonna decide, is it better than its competitors? Is it the best bang for your buck? We're gonna find out, but first, a quick word from our sponsors.
Life is too short to drive boring cars!
This is the 6th generation Honda CR-V that we have seen. And over the years, the body style has changed a bit. Now, it looks fantastic. This has got to be my favorite body style. It looks sleek, it looks mean, it looks modern. Okay, and this is now the most powerful CR-V, and its rivals are the Toyota RAV4, Hyundai Tucson, and Kia Sportage, all hybrid of course. So we're gonna check out the interior, the exterior, the powertrain, and of course, we're gonna take it on a drive. So let's jump right in. The headlights for this year have been redesigned, okay? They've been stretched and slimmed. It looks great, giving that more aggressive look. This is the Sport Touring Edition. So with that, you get more black. You get a fully redesigned front grille, redesigned lower grille that is functional. These are functional grills. And right down here, it can open and close for more airflow. And up here, the curved hood looks great. It looks modern, it looks with the times, unlike previous years that can look a little bit outdated. Now, moving down over here to the wheels, we have 19-inch gloss black wheels that match perfectly with this Blue Canyon River Rock color. Now you have 235 by 55 tires. This being an SUV, you have to have a higher sidewall. Now, the chassis this year has been redesigned. It is now lighter than previous models. Oh, and by the way, the Sport regular trim level is front wheel drive. The Sport Touring is all-wheel drive. Anyway, let's look at these wonderful lines here. These body lines make it look, again, really modern. And you guys know I love black trim, more black, more black. There's chrome. Why is there chrome? I think for the Sport Touring Edition, if you want to make it look sporty, as much black as you can, especially with this blue color, it would have looked great. But anyway, let's move down and check out the trunk. We now have the fastest lift gate in a CR-V. Check this out. That's pretty quick. Okay, and back here, with the seats folded down, you have 76.5 cubic feet of space, which is perfect. Now, it doesn't fold down perfectly flat, okay? And that's because right down here, you have your battery. So plenty of space back here, and like me, I've been driving this car for like a week and I love to put my big Stanley water bottle right there and right here. It's the perfect size, kind of obscure, but I think the last thing we want in a car is for things to just be rattling around, but I've had no issues storing stuff back here. Very solid. Okay, now we're gonna go check the inside of this car out and look at some of the features. Taking a look at the interior here, very nice. There's no BS about this car, no gimmicky features, okay? You have your orange stitching right here for the Sport Touring models. You have this 9-inch infotainment system, which is pretty awesome because it's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible. And one of the cool things about this car is you can arrange the way the apps go. Very cool. So if you use an app more often than others, you can have your screen fully packed of the things that you use, very accessible. Now check out this power flow screen. So say goodbye to your RPMs. What you have now is power. So as you're driving, you will see this go up and down and show you the performance of the vehicle. Now really quick, looking at the rear view camera here, it is a little bit grainy compared to its competition on the market. Just keep that in mind if you're looking at these vehicles. Now you have a 12-speaker Bose sound system, which is awesome. The surround sound, really, I can feel it in my chest. I love this feature about that car. I also love just this honeycomb feature, so cool. Very nice air vents. You have your tactile knob, heated seats. There's 3 different modes for the heated seats. No ventilated seats, which is a little weird because these seats do look like they would be capable of doing that. Anyway, you have a new shift knob. You have, for the first time ever, a drive mode selector for sport, economy, normal, and snow driving modes. Now looking up here, you have a power operated sunroof, and then you manually can open and close that little visor there. Now looking at the steering wheel, Honda has nailed it. This is perfect. Everything you need is right here. It's a heated wheel with a push of a button I can warm up. Nice and easy. Now looking at the dash, you have a half and half. Digital on one side, analog on the other, the analog being the speedometer. Now over here on the seats, you have a 2 memory seating configuration, which is, you know, on the lower end. Most cars have 3 or more, but nonetheless, very cool features. Down here, you have USB-C, you have USB-A, you have 2 cup holders, very soft goods, plenty of space down in the center console. And let's go hop in the back and see how much room we got. All right, so sitting back here, the rear doors now open at 90 degrees, which is perfect if you want to strap your kid in a car seat. You don't have to kind of finagle your way in there. Now check out this cool feature for this car. So this rear seat is adjustable 8 different ways. So if I'm a little bit sleepy, I can just pull that little knob and be very comfortable, and I am very comfortable. Now, if you're worried about safety with the seats like this, it is still a top safety picked car for 2023, even when the seats are like this. That's because the airbags will safely go off no matter what position these are in. So let's put this thing back in position. Now, one thing that's a little bit weird, your passenger front seat in the back has a little pocket for you to put things in. The driver's side does not have that. It's just clear space. Not sure why they decided to go with that, but anyway, you do have 2 rear air vents here, which is perfect for if you're a mom and you have kids who come home from a baseball game in the heat of the summer and they smell stank and they're gonna stank up your car. No, this is perfect for cooling them down and keeping your car smelling nice and good. Now, you do also have 2 USB outlets here, and you have your pretty basic center armrest, center console for the rear with 2 cup holders that are just a little bit smaller, so keep that in mind. And that's pretty much it for the rear. There is plenty of space right here, so let's go check out what's under the hood. Now, taking a look under the hood here, the pop rod has been removed. We now have a hydraulically operated system. And what we're looking at is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder engine, hybrid engine, mated to a CVT. Now, this thing produces roughly 204 horsepower, and the miles per gallon is a 40 in the city, 34 on the highway for a combined of 37 miles per gallon. Now, this does have regenerative braking and can tow up to 1,000 pounds. So let's go take this thing for a test drive. We are back driving, doing a little bit of off-roading, this being the Sport Touring Edition, so quite smooth. I'm very impressed with the suspension and just how smooth the ride has been. Obviously, it's still very smooth on the road now. It just feels incredible to drive. I would not mind driving this every day to work. Now, there are different drive modes I'm curious to try out, so let's put this thing into sport mode and give it some gas. Not too bad, not too shabby. Since this is the highest trim level, we do have a little bit more power. Now let's try the eco mode. And I have driven these modes before, but just doing it for the video to quickly show you guys how easy it is to change modes. Now, most cars that have this eco function are typically not the fastest. I don't like to drive in those modes just because it feels so sluggish. But for this car, it's just really not the case. It actually is responsive and smooth. And I would recommend driving in this mode because not only do you save good gas mileage, but it's still kind of quick. All right, let's get on it. And 60 miles an hour. Not bad, not incredibly fast, but For a crossover SUV like this, it's got some go to it. And that's that 204 horsepower with that 240 feet-pounds of torque that you get with this trim level with those electric motors. So actually for this year, we have 4.4 inches of better visibility. The window is now just a little bit wider. Those 4 inches do make quite a difference driving this thing. And that with the moved and extended side mirrors, I have plenty of visibility here. So I've been driving this thing for around a week, and when I drive to work, I carpool with my coworkers. Now, they have really enjoyed all the space back there, and they've told me they do like the smooth ride, and you know, that is Honda, and especially with this hybrid motor, you are going to get pretty nice ride. Okay, so wind noise. This car, for me, gets a 7 out of 10. It's not great, but it's also not far from terrible. And I've been driving this car for around a week, and my coworkers who I carpool with love this thing. They love how smooth it is. They love how much room is back there. Overall, the wind noise isn't too big of an issue. One of the last things that I wanted to talk about for the driving experience is, you know, electric cars, when you come off that throttle and you get that regenerative braking, how it sometimes will trigger the lights on the rear. Now, this car does trigger the brake lights, but not really when you're driving on a flat surface when you go on that regenerative braking. It's mainly when you're going downhill, the regen kicks on, and so do the brake lights. But flat, not so much. Just thought I'd let you guys know that. So this car does feature a 50-50 torque distribution. I think last year's model was a 60-40, but now for this year we have 50-50. So we get power throughout this whole car that's consistent. Very smooth driving experience right now. I'm in sport mode. It feels great. Let's try out this regenerative braking, which looks like paddle shifters on this car, but no, it's how you control the regenerative braking. So if I want more sensitivity or less sensitivity, it's all right here, very comfortable. So let me come off throttle here. So fully maxed out, I let off the throttle. It does stop me. It's not very aggressive. Now I can lower that to where that feels like nothing, but it's still regenerating that braking power, battery power. But there we go, just downshifted. It's almost like a downshift, but just kind of slows you down. So this car has everything nice and laid out in the palm of my hand. Everything's in reach. Navigation, steering wheel. It's just such a comfortable ride. Overall, I've loved my time with this 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport Touring Edition. It is just so smooth. I love the infotainment system, how you can move the apps around. I love the sound system, how you can feel the bass in your chest. Now, this is a completely unbiased review, but there's really nothing you can really hate this car for. Maybe the fact that the front passenger doesn't have a little pocket in the back like the passenger side does, but really that's about it. This car, all-wheel drive, okay, Honda reliability. So does it beat its competitors? Well, at $38,000, I really think it does. This car has just performed so well. It is the perfect daily driver. Now, what matters most is how you guys feel about this car, so we would always recommend go to your local Honda dealership and try it out for yourselves. And if you do, you might walk away with a new car.